Ok, donc bonjour, bienvenue. Aujourd'hui, c'est le mardi 1er juin. C'est la dernière semaine, hein. La semaine prochaine, nous avons 2 jours, mais c'est tout. Ok. Donc, objectif, je peux utiliser l'expression comme hier, il y a un an, etc. Je peux lire un récit simple. Ok, donc on va commencer avec un échauffement. Et puis, être et avoir. Puis j'ai fait, j'ai vu, je suis allé. Et la fin de l'année. OK. Donc, en général, donc pour échauffement, en général, est-ce que tu préfères te lever tôt, hein, donc le matin? Est-ce que tu préfères te lever tôt ou est-ce que tu préfères te coucher tard, vers 1 heure ou 2 heures du matin? En général, qu'est-ce que tu préfères? OK, intéressant. Donc, la majorité, c'est se coucher tard, mais il y en a quand même pas mal qui préfèrent le matin. Intéressant. OK. Donc, être et avoir. Être et avoir. Je voulais vous demander de continuer, de faire cette activité. Vous êtes pas mal qui n'ont pas encore terminé. Okay, so we took some time to review the être and avoir. So again, just trying to get a feel for être and avoir, trying to get pretty familiar with it, even if we're not getting perfectly mastering it, right? Mastery can come later. We're just looking for you to get familiar with it so that when French 3 comes around, you're a little more comfortable with it. Okay? Well, because for the passé composé, donc regardons le lièvre et la tortue. Le lièvre a proposé à la tortue une course. La course a commencé. Le lièvre a couru plus vite que la tortue. Le lièvre a fait une sieste et la tortue est passée devant. Le lièvre s'est réveillé, mais la tortue a été déjà bien en avant. La tortue a gagné la course. So looking at these, y'all have seen these sentences before because this is the story in your packet. Can anybody circle using annotation? Anybody circle or highlight or something or indicate le passé composé? Some examples of le passé composé in here. Okay, so le passé composé, some examples of le passé composé. So here I've got them highlighted. Le lièvre a proposé. Il a proposé. La course a commencé. Il a couru. Il a fait. Il s'est réveillé et elle a gagné. Okay? This one's a little different. La tortue est passée devant. Can anybody tell me what's different about this one? This one should be in the kind of darker yellow, but this one in the kind of pale pink. What's different about this one? Any ideas? So, le lièvre a proposé, la course a commencé, le lièvre a couru, le lièvre a fait, la tortue est passée. Okay, maybe we can come back to it. Okay. Regardons d'autres exemples. J'ai vu le film Raya and the Last Dragon. Et toi, tu as vu ce film? Hier, j'ai vu mon oncle et ma tante sur Zoom. L'été dernier, j'ai vu la Tour Eiffel. Est-ce que tu as vu un monument important comme la Tour Eiffel? So here again, can you find the passé composé here? Some examples? Yeah, good job. Yeah, so j'ai vu, j'ai vu, j'ai vu. Tu as vu. Good job. Yeah, those are some good examples of le passé composé. Okay, j'ai vu. J'ai vu. Tu as vu is also the passé composé. But it's tu instead of je, right? Okay. Excellent. All right. So now that we've done that real quick, any ideas for what's different about this one? La tortue est passée devant. Anyone have any ideas what's different? Here we go. So I fixed the colors because this one should have been highlighted in the kind of pink as well as this one. So all the ones in the yellow are using avoir. Il a. La course a. il a, elle a gagné, right? La tortue, elle a été. Okay? Whereas these are using être. La tortue est passée. Le lièvre s'est réveillé. Okay? Yeah. And this one we already did. We found them. How about these? Hier, j'ai fait la fête. Aujourd'hui, je suis très fatigué. Et toi, qu'est-ce que tu as fait hier? Il y a un an, j'ai fait un voyage au Mexique. Est-ce que tu as fait un voyage récemment? Il y a 3 ans, j'ai fait du karaté, mais je me suis cassé la jambe. Maintenant, je fais du yoga. Et toi, est-ce que tu fais du karaté ou du yoga? So you figured out, j'ai fait la fête, faire la fête, to go to a party. J'ai fait un voyage, to go on a trip. And then faire du karaté, to do karate, right? Or to do yoga, faire du yoga. And I asked, okay, well, je me suis cassé la jambe. What do you think that might mean? Something that stopped me from doing karate in this imaginary world where I did karate 3 years ago. What stopped me? How come I made the transition from karate to yoga? Je me suis cassé la jambe. La jambe? Maybe you know la jambe. Ouais, très bien. Donc, un bras, une jambe. Hein? Donc, je me suis cassé la jambe. Donc, j'ai arrêté de faire du karaté. J'ai commencé à faire du yoga. Hein? So, il y a 3 ans, j'ai fait du karaté, mais je me suis cassé la jambe. But I broke my leg. And which verb are we using here? We're not using avoir. We're using it's not je m'ai cassé la jambe, je me suis cassé la jambe. So we're not using avoir, we're using, what verb is that? Je suis. Je suis beau, je suis fort, je suis grand. Je me suis cassé. Yeah, so we're not using avoir, we're using être. Okay, être. Je me suis cassé la jambe. Ouais. OK, entraînons-nous. Let's practice. Entraînons-nous. OK, utilisons chacune de ces expressions dans 3 phrases différentes. So now we've seen some examples of these expressions. J'ai vu, j'ai fait, je suis allé. We didn't see je suis allé so much, but you could use that one, right? So what am I asking you to do here for practicing? So now we've seen some examples, right? With j'ai fait, j'ai vu. And we didn't see je suis allé, right? We can talk about je suis allé. This is all in your activity packet, right? In your activity packet, you've got these expressions. J'ai fait, j'ai vu, je suis allé. First, what is je suis allé? So I saw, I did, and I went. I went. Yeah, yeah. So maybe for going to a place or something, right? These are all in the passé composé. Yeah, so what am I asking you to do for this? Utilisons chacune de ces expressions dans 3 phrases différentes. Et donc, il y a 1, 2, 3 expressions. Et je vous demande d'écrire 3 phrases différentes.
Create 3
Do you want
phrases.
us to create 3 expressions using these things?
Yeah. So I would like you to create 3 sentences. Okay? 3 sentences using these. Right? So if you take a look at that link that I just sent, I'll open it up here. And again, I wonder if I have it in this slide. No, I don't think so. Okay. Use each
Is
of
this
these
the last
expressions.
week of school or is it next week?
I'm sorry?
Is this the last week of school or is that next week?
This is the last full week of school. Next week we have 2 days. Next week we have 2 days. Okay? So use each of these in a sentence. So make a sentence with this one, and then another sentence with this one, and then a final sentence with this one. And I gave you a little bit of an extra piece of advice. It might help you. It might help you to think about these expressions too. Il y a un an, hier, l'été dernier. Why would these help, do you think, to use these?
Then we could say, last year I saw, yesterday I went, last summer I did.
Yeah, so you can talk about when these things happened, right? To help you kind of get an idea for when they happened, right? So last summer, I took a trip. J'ai fait un voyage, right? Hier, yesterday. Hier, j'ai vu un film. Okay, it doesn't have to be very complex. You don't have to be very, very complex. Il y a un an, a year ago, il y a un an, je suis allé en France. Okay, je ne sais pas. Il y a un an, je suis allé à Green Bay, à Milwaukee. Je ne sais pas. Okay. So I'm asking you for tonight to go ahead and complete these sentences. Think about something you saw, something you did, or a place you went. Je suis allé. What's the extra E here, do you think? This is just kind of bonus, okay? So you don't have to worry about this, but.
Or if you're talking about, it's a feminine version of the same, of LA.
Yeah, so if I'm a boy, I'm gonna say je suis allé, and I'll leave it here. I won't add the extra E. But if I'm a girl and I say je suis allé, I'm gonna add the extra E at the end, okay? That's not something you have to memorize or anything, okay? I just want you to know that's why there is that. Okay, so in a moment, I will let you go ahead and get started on this. For now, though, I just wanted to very quickly look at the last week of the year. So again, next week we have Tuesday and Wednesday, I believe. June 9th is the last day of classes. So next week we have Tuesday and Wednesday. And I'm hoping we'll have some visitors on Wednesday. We may have some guests on Wednesday, the last day of class. Some people you may know from your pen pal letters. Who knows? Okay, so that might be a little bit of a surprise next Wednesday. We're still working it out. But today we worked on le passé composé and être en avoir. We kind of wrapped up être en avoir. That's something you can keep practicing as much as you like. And then tomorrow we're going to start talking about sortir avec une copine. I'll explain that a little bit to you tomorrow. And we'll kind of use that to keep on working on that Thursday and Friday and wrapping up the activité du cahier. Okay. And I know that we're all kind of in summer zone right now, summer mode. We're all eager for the end. And so I wanted to make this week a little bit lighter. We're going to be doing a lot of work in class to kind of wrap up the semester, to make a little bit more time for independent work for folks who are missing work. So yeah. So I will stick around if there are questions. I'm happy to help. Otherwise, I will say au revoir et à demain.